Yeah.
So
So we predicted the NFL season. We have the script. Come back to the end of the year to see if everything lined up.
this is
Well, now here's the thing.
Are we the script writers?
No, well, the problem is we have different scripts. So, depends on what the NFL chose. Did they choose my script or did they choose your
which script makes the best movie between me and you? We'll see what happens.
Mine, because Dan Campbell's involved. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BTR podcast.
Before we get started, as usual, like, comment, and subscribe.
And make sure you guys follow our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, etc. We post almost daily. Audio listeners, Joven, who are you shouting out again?
Brussels.
Make sure you guys rate 5 stars if you guys enjoy it, and then download it if you guys prefer to listen to the audio way. Before we also continue with today's banger of an episode, I would say.
Yeah, I would say that.
We dropped as we teased last time, we dropped our 3rd episode of the week, Saturday. Dropped with a guest, special guest, a good friend of ours, reunited.
Our third guest
ever, Derek Bossy. The people locally in the Vancouver area will know who he is, a local former Canada U20 17 star, scored one of the game winners. I don't know why I'm messing up right now. We scored the game winner goal against Guadeloupe. Has a great story. He shared his story of his brother carrying his legacy, Brendan Bossy, who unfortunately had passed away back in 2019. Make sure you guys check that podcast out. It did not feel like it was a long podcast.
Yeah,
it was a fun conversation.
Yeah, he said the same thing. And he did not hold back on us either.
Yeah. If you want to see us get roasted, go to that podcast. Yeah. He'll roast us. He'll roast other family members of ours. Obviously, the people that know us might know who they are. But if you want to see us get roasted, click on that podcast. You will not be disappointed.
It has everything. It has his stories, serious moments, funny moments, and it's just overall chill podcast.
Yeah, so make sure you guys check that one out, and we'll let you guys know when the next one will be. But without a further ado, let's get right into it. It is officially the last weekend before NFL football will begin.
I'm pumped. I'm excited.
I hate this time of year. Not in terms of the sports.
Yeah. I
hate this time of year because it's like you don't know how to feel. It's like sports is back, right? PL, soccer in general has started. And NHL, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball playoffs.
A lot of stuff is happening.
But no, thankfully I'm no longer in school. You're going back to school. It just gives me the vibe that it's that time of year. Summer's ending. It's getting colder. It's raining right now.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so yeah, obviously summer ending, that sucks, but that's what we look forward to as sports fans. Like this time of year, this kind of makes me forget that winter's coming because, like, it's shitty weather and all that stuff.
Summer
because,
is like
I'm gonna be inside watching games anyways.
Yeah, like summer is definitely a vibe too because you get to do your own thing, play our sports. For example, this trophy still right here. Yeah, so it's NFL season though. We're predicting the whole NFL season. Disclaimer: we're not telling you guys to make. If you guys are betting people, we're not telling you guys to make these picks.
Oh yeah.
Who we think are winning.
We don't know how to bet.
We didn't even look at any betting apps.
We don't even know how to bet.
Exactly. We didn't look at any betting apps for this, like the over under. This is strictly our opinion, making predictions. We might look stupid. We might, because I think we might have went a little bold here and there in the standings. Those of you guys know our over under video. I made a bold claim there. I'll bring that up again. So again, bet at your own risk, because I know sports betting has been a big thing. And you guys don't even want to listen to us because ever since we started the podcast,
we've been 50-50.
We've been 50, but some of them have been horrendous.
Some of them are bad, right?
So bet at your own risk if you guys want to bet. As simple as that.
Some have been good. But
yeah, we're predicting the NFL season. And last thing. We will be dropping our NFL tier list. That is nothing to do with predictions. That's just who we think is the best team.
Just who's on good.
Yeah, it's already recorded. That'll be coming out.
Who's good on paper. Yeah,
exactly. Who we think is the best team and compare good on paper. That will be coming out hopefully this Saturday. So just keep an eye out on that as well. But yeah, let's get right into it. We're predicting the standings for the playoffs, our Super Bowl prediction, and the major awards.
All right, so let's start off with the AFC. And
we're going standings first.
Division. AFC East.
All right, let me just pull my list up here.
I'll just say my 4 teams right now. in order. 1, Buffalo Bills. Number 2, Miami Dolphins. Number 3, New York Jets. And number 4, New England Patriots.
So my number 1, Buffalo Bills. My number 2, New York Jets.
Yeah.
Number 3, Miami Dolphins. And number 4, the New England Patriots. Probably the hardest division in football.
There's a clear 3-headed monster in this.
Yeah.
And obviously they're going to be top 3 in the division.
What made you pick Miami over the Jets?
I think Jets have some pressure, right? Jets have the hype as well. They're a young team. Where Miami is kind of their second year of doing this, right? Former last year playoff team. And with a healthy Tua, they had an insane record.
Yeah, obviously I skimmed through the schedule. I'm basing my list a little bit on vibes as well. Because like at the end of the day, you could do all the research in the world. Like we do. I don't know if we're doing our family pick'ems this year, which we should.
Yeah, right. Like people that don't watch football, March Madness brackets, for example, right?
Simple.
Some randomest people win it all.
Yeah.
Compared to people who actually watch college
exactly.
football.
Like yes, the best teams will probably still get into the playoffs. It's not like the Arizona Cardinals, for example, are gonna get in the playoffs. I mean, who knows though? At the end of the day, still.
They're not.
But I'm just saying, who knows though? At the end of the day,
but they're not.
But I went with. I know I preached continuity, which I will for the, which I'm still kind of doing this. The Bills, for me, the reason why I think we both have it is just a continuity
And
the vengeance
they
year.
filled some needs.
Yeah,
They
vengeance
filled some
year.
needs. Yeah.
Von Miller is out on PUP, so 4 weeks. But the reason why I picked the Jets is because Aaron Rodgers. I think between the two teams, I need to see Tua healthy, and that we're basing it off health for sure. But we also have to incorporate the injury factor that he has.
Yeah.
And as much as I love what Miami has done, and I think it's great, I think New York's defense is still elite. They added Aaron Rodgers. Because with Mike White, they were like 7-10, I think. Something close.
Yeah,
like
they were
that,
7-10.
right? So they were close with Mike White, Mr. Seeing Ghosts of Zach Wilson. No, sorry, that was Sam Darnold. Sorry, Zach Wilson. I mixed them up. But Zach Wilson. And then who was the third guy? Joe Flacco, right? Now you have a stud. Aaron Rodgers is coming off a pretty bad year himself, but now he has weapons. The O-line is the question mark. And I know we alluded that to in the tier list.
That's another reason why.
But I still think they'll be fine. I think Breece Hall coming back, pairing him up with Dalvin Cook will put that pressure off. Aaron Rodgers literally puts it in the pocket of Garrett
obviously.
Wilson is going to be there. You have his safety blanket in Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb. Now I'm not expecting Randall Cobb to go off. And who's the tight end?
It doesn't even matter at this rate.
But yeah, that's the reason why I think the Jets.
Uzama, I think.
And this has been the year of teams kind of going over the hump. The Sacramento Kings, the Seattle Mariners last year.
Yeah.
The Jets, I think, are the longest 10-year team now, and I think they will get over it.
Like, I don't disagree with you. I had trouble picking as who's me second and third.
Yeah.
For me, Bills were number 1 still. Patriots were number 4.
Yeah. And hey, don't sleep on the Patriots too.
Belichick will do something.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But yeah, I just ended up with the Dolphins just because of
it's like a coin flip. Like I could have done an easy coin flip.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
I just ended up with Dolphins because of the continuity factor and speed. Speed does kill with Waddle and Hill.
Yeah,
and also
good news is Tyreek Hill.
Also secondary. I mean, I know Jalen Ramsey's not healthy right now, but that secondary once healthy is going to be dominant.
Vic Fangio, yeah. No,
and Vic Fangio.
The good news is Tyreek Hill, I think, is not getting charged. I think remember he had some legal issues. I think he's not getting charged, so that's good. Unless some Alvin Kamara thing comes happen and he'll get suspended. But official for me: Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots.
Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots.
All right, who's next for you on the list?
AFC North.
Okay, so I'm going by Google, so it's AFC West. AFC North. Another tough one. And you want me to start this time?
Yeah, give it 4.
Baltimore is number 1.
Okay.
Cincinnati's number 2.
Okay.
Cleveland's number 3.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh's number 4. Now Pittsburgh is still gonna finish 8-1 minimum. That being said,
this is the toughest division in the AFC.
You think? Yeah, I think out of all 4 teams, yeah. As the other ones are top heavy, and the Patriots are like just there. I think these guys.
All 4 teams have a chance.
Yeah.
Right. Where I don't think Patriots really have a chance, but I went with the Bengals, Browns, Ravens.
So we went different.
Steelers.
Yeah. Give your reasoning first.
Bengals, Orlando Brown, big ad for me. They lost their safeties, which sucks, but I think they did enough in the draft and free agency wise to minimize that impact. Because Jesse Bates and Von Bell are stud players. Joe Burrow with the 3 wide receivers.
Joe Mixon is back.
O-line is better than last year. Joe Mixon is still there. Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard, Logan Wilson, they're all still there. And the continuity factor, they've been doing it the last 2 years.
So the reason why obviously that's the reason why I had them second. Not the only reason. I had them second because I think Baltimore now has a definitive answer in Lamar Jackson. Simple. That's the main reason why. And I know there's many people that are gonna be like, "Oh, Lamar Jackson isn't that great." This is based on regular season standings, so that's what I'm doing it based off. But for me, Lamar Jackson is back now. Again, health is a question, but he's officially back. There's no contract distractions. You give him OBJ, Mr. Reliable. You still have Mark Andrews, his Mr. Reliable. You have a new play caller. You add Zay Flowers. You still have Gus Edwards, right? If I'm not mistaken.
J.K. Dobbins is the big one.
Yeah, so they're still back there. I don't have any problems with their defense in general.
Yeah, that's true.
They're always there. I know they lost pieces. Don't get me wrong, but I just think when Lamar Jackson does play, and he did the same thing last year, they barely lose. And when he's out is when they miss the playoffs or barely make the playoffs and then lose right away.
Yeah, so that's your reason for Ravens. Obviously you explained I explained Bengals.
So yeah, you had Browns second. So
I had Browns second.
So why are they ahead of the Ravens for you?
I just think they had a better offseason. I genuinely do.
Here, I'm gonna call you out here. We disrespected the Browns.
I did disrespect them in the tier list, but then when I looked at it back, I was like, yeah, I messed up.
Yeah.
Right. Nick Chubb, one of the top 3 back in the league.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson is my question mark. But if he is Deshaun Watson from before...
He's coming from day one this time.
Huh? He's really there for day one. But if he is a Deshaun Watson from... Houston, where he led the league in yards, made the playoffs multiple times, I think he could potentially be the best quarterback in that division. And
that tier list, you were questioning the number 2.
But I'm still going to give it to Joe Burrow. I'm not going to disrespect him. Defensively, Denzel Ward's still there. They have... added some few pieces, I think, secondary-wise. Myles Garrett. Rocky Yassin.
Sorry, wrong team. Mixed that one up. My bad.
Anthony Walker is still back with the Taki linebackers, I think, are enough. And Elijah Moore. I was questioning their second who will be their second option, second option, I mean. And I think Elijah Moore could be that guy for them.
Isn't Njoku still there?
I don't know. Maybe he is still there as well.
Yeah, so
I'm pretty sure he is.
I genuinely think Deshaun Watson last year had, like, again, rightfully so, a lot of scrutiny on him, and he had a lot of the obviously distraction, right? And he's coming back from what was like an 11-game suspension, so it was hard to get. He couldn't even practice, I believe. I don't think he was able to be in the.
Yeah, I don't think it was allowed.
The practice facilities while the team was there, at least, like, together. And listen, Deshaun Watson, and once upon a time, was playing like a top 5 quarterback before Joe Burrow and all these guys came into the league. I still believe he's that guy. I'm only putting him number 3 because I cannot disrespect the Bengals personally. So that's why I'm putting him number 2. And Browns can fight for a playoff spot. It'll be tough, but they can fight for a playoff spot.
Yeah, so quickly, these were the defensive ads I was talking about. Zadarius Smith.
Yep.
With Myles Garrett pass rushing, solid. Taki and Anthony Walker Jr. are going to be their linebackers. Rodney McLeod and Juan Thornhill. They did lose John Johnson, safety, but they replaced them all with those 2 players.
Rodney McLeod had an underrated year with the Colts.
He did. He genuinely did. And then Dalvin Tomlinson, defensive tackle as well. So those are some solid adds defensively. And we forgot about draft. Cedric Tillman could be a potential steal of this draft as well, because I think he was a Texas player, right? Him and Jalen Hyatt, right? I'm pretty sure. I don't remember.
I can't say too much.
I think that's what it was. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. I mean, those pieces.
You're saying that him and Jalen Hyatt were teammates?
Yeah,
Tennessee,
not Texas. Yeah, Tennessee.
Yeah,
that was my bad. Yeah. So I mean, that's why I think those pieces were gonna help.
Pittsburgh, honestly, you can never count them out.
All 4 of these teams could be over 500.
Pittsburgh
and Baltimore made the playoffs, and they had the same record as Pittsburgh. It's because of tiebreakers. Same with Miami. They all had Miami and Baltimore had the tiebreakers.
So yeah, Pittsburgh at the end of the day could still finish 8-1, 9-8, and might miss it. Like I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You got TJ Watt, probably the best defensive player in the game. Pass rushing wise.
Yeah, this was after Bengals. This was tough for me to rank 2, 3, and 4. I don't know who to put. In my personal opinion, I think this, when I was doing it, this was my toughest division.
Yeah.
To rank 1, 2, 3, 4. But we'll move on to opposite ends of the division, which is the AFC South.
They'll probably. You think this is the worst or the NFC South the worst?
NFC South's the worst.
Okay. We'll power rank them at the end.
Actually, no, they're both. I think they're both equally bad. But yeah, I'll go this time. Jaguars, obviously. Titans, Colts, Texans.
Jaguars, Titans, Texans, Colts.
Okay, yeah. So
I'm not, like I said, I try my best not to be biased. Obviously, when I want to be and I need to be, I will. Like, obviously, you've seen me during the Laker playoff games. But no, I think Houston has the more ready quarterback. I think their defense will be fine. Will Anderson is there. I know you looked at the ads as well, so you could probably speak a little bit more.
Jimmy Ward, D'Amico Ryans.
I guess off the bat, let's just start from the top. Jaguars.
This easy answer.
Easy answer.
Easy answer.
I can't see them. And
Year 2.
You're adding one of your favorite receivers, and Calvin Ridley's back, and Christian Kirk having a great year by him being the number 1. Now you're making Kirk being the number 2, and
Evan Ingram's coming off a career year. The year 2 of T-Law and Peterson, because I don't count year 1 for him.
Yeah,
and
he proved it last year.
ATN is there still.
Yeah, so that's reason why no need to get in the Jaguars. Defensively, same thing. I think they're fine.
Solid. They're set.
Yeah, and number 2, Tennessee. I still feel like they'll fight for a playoff spot. DeAndre Hopkins made me put him second for sure.
Mike Vrabel gets the best out of that team.
Yeah,
genuinely does get the best out of that team, where they're always competing.
Number 3 and 4. So this is where we differentiate here. The reason why, again, like I said, Houston, I think they have the more ready quarterback at the moment. Now, that doesn't mean that's the case, because we know Anthony Richardson's athleticism will probably be a bigger factor than CJ Stroud, right? But I think CJ Stroud has the better weapons. That's number 1. Number 2, I feel like the continuity in Houston is better than Indy. Offensively, Indy had a shit show last year.
They did.
New coaching staff, and then on the defensive side, Indy lost a lot of their secondary. Stephon Gilmore was a big factor, and now teams will be more comfortable throwing at guys like Darrell Baker if he starts. Dallas Flowers. Juju Brents is probably injured, so I don't even know how much is he gonna play. Like those guys, right? Whereas Stephon Gilmore took one side of the field away. Rodney McLeod, like we mentioned earlier, had a great safety year. Question is, can Julian Blackmon and Nick Cross even?
Ronnie Thomas. Who was good.
Nick Cross bounced back, and Rodney Thomas, who was good.
Continue.
But he was with Rodney McLeod, which was a big help as well. And can Julian Blackmon from an injury come back to it?
All right. I agree with you that.
How much of it was a bias? How much was it a bias too?
Not really.
Oh, okay. I think it'd be like a little bit of a bias.
If it was biased, I'm putting him second place.
Actually?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I thought even with the bias was third.
I agree with you that CJ Stroud is the more ready QB, but the thing I disagree with you, I think Colts have the better ready roster compared to the Texans.
Yeah.
I think the Colts have a better D-line. I think the Colts have a better linebacking group. I think the Colts have a better O-line if they are healthy.
One person leaves, that O-line collapses.
Yeah, if they're healthy.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think that the Colts have just those star players that the Texans don't have. The star players being Buckner, Shaq Leonard, Quentin Nelson, hopefully Jonathan Taylor, and Michael Pittman as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I this Indy team is weird. Like, if Jonathan Taylor was playing from the beginning and we didn't have the drama, but even with the drama, and if he were to play, I would think they would be third place. Jonathan Taylor's missing 4 games, and even after that, we don't know what the hell is happening with that team, right?
Another thing is that, like, Richardson's ceiling is higher than Stroud's as well.
Yeah, for sure. But
that's
the floor
guaranteed.
is
lower. But if Richardson is anything like his ceiling this first year, the Colts could jump to division victory.
Listen, I've seen like how 2 ends of the spectrum. I've seen people say Colts could fight. I've seen the opposite as well. Richardson looked good in preseason eye test wise, but his numbers were not there. Like, Gardner Minshew, if you're looking at it that way, Gardner Minshew should be the starter if they're trying to win, obviously.
But the poise this guy had.
Yeah, like his deep ball accuracy is there.
Some of it was receivers' fault.
Exactly.
There were many drops and not enough separation as well.
Yeah, and then defensively, last thing about the Colts, I'm very happy and I hope he plays Shaq Leonard.
Yeah.
I want him to prove why he's the best linebacker in the game again. 2 years ago, he probably was.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, it was between him and Warner because Warner is a stud.
Yeah, no, but I'm very happy to see Shaq back as a Colts fan. So that's our...
Yeah, that's AFC South. AFC West.
I think it was straightforward.
I think it's straightforward.
Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders.
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
I'll just start from the bottom. Raiders were third place, I think, last year.
Yeah.
So I think Broncos are a better team than the Raiders at the current moment.
And Sean Payton's a big
upgrade as well. So, but I don't think they're going to be enough to challenge the Chargers and the Chiefs.
Yeah. Same thing, pretty much what you said. We'll just leave it there. Chiefs, Chargers. Now, I really want to make that. I know I was kind of itching on making that bold claim last year that because Tyreek Hill was gone, Chargers will be ahead of the Chiefs. Obviously, did not happen. The biggest question mark within two teams right now isn't the talent, isn't like the roster itself. It's Brandon Staley and Andy Reid.
Yeah,
that's the biggest.
I'll also give you another question for the Chargers. Their run defense is terrible. I looked it up. They were last place.
They were bad last year.
And they haven't really addressed that through offseason. But obviously, offensive talent, they both have it, right?
They added Quentin
Quarterback-wise, weapons-wise, obviously, Chargers should have the edge. But Travis Kelce,
the question mark for the Chiefs is still Chris Jones, right? That's where I was like, do I put the Chargers ahead of the Chiefs? Because that's a big factor. Like, Chiefs have never been a strong defensive team, but Spags gets the best out of them.
They're similar mold here. High power offense, both of them. And they have a good D-line that could get to the quarterback, right? Everything else after that, Chiefs don't really care. Spags thrives on getting pressure on the quarterback.
However, flip side, Chargers secondary is decent.
Yeah.
Derwin James, J.C. Jackson. Did they have Asante Samuel?
I think they did draft him, right? They drafted him.
I'm pretty sure they have someone. I always mix the guy with Atlanta. There's a guy in Atlanta. I always mix the two up.
That's AJ Terrell.
Yeah, so I mixed those two up for some reason.
I'll come back with you this. Chiefs have Justin Reed. Chiefs have the Jarius Sneed, who is very underrated, in my opinion.
So yeah, they're very similar.
They are very similar.
Yeah. Got the question mark. Bieniemy's gone, so let's see how big of a factor that is in terms of internally.
And then let's see if Kellen Moore could get the best out of them.
Kellen Moore on the flip side is obviously an upgrade there.
And
again, we've alluded to this to every NFL thing.
Yeah, obviously, you said head coach, but the second biggest question is health. Yeah, clearly Chargers are not a healthy team.
No, the other thing is, for me, is the last thing is, can Kadarius Toney fill the Juju role? That's the big thing. Can Sky Moore take that jump? Can Justin Ross not be injured? Because we've seen Justin Ross in Clemson.
He was solid.
And then after that, he was injured. That's why he went undrafted. And then Justin Ross, this year's preseason, has been killing it, training camp and preseason. So I think Justin Ross has the potential to be a wide receiver 2, 1B. I wouldn't say like clear-cut one like a Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. But, yeah, I think that's how it's going to... I think it's going to fall out like this, but I will not be surprised if the Chargers somehow actually come out of their shell. But I'm going to say it one more time. Is Brandon Staley going to call it a play on fourth down on his own 20 like every time? That's gonna be the key thing, right?
Yeah, coaching is definitely a question mark.
Yeah,
but that's the AFC. We'll move on to the NFC. Then we'll start off with the NFC East.
Yeah,
we'll start off big. And my 4, I know it's gonna be different than your 4. I already
alluded to it last episode.
Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders.
Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, Commanders.
All right, Eagles. Let's quickly talk about Eagles and Commanders. Eagles, they're set. They lost players. They did well in the draft. They did well in free agency to replace those players, right? Gave Jalen Hurts his contract. Offense is still there. Offensive line, one of the best in football. And weapon groups, solid. Hassan Reddick and the D-line is solid with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. They have the mix of youth and old there. Cornerbacks, Bradbury's back. Slay's back. They're set. Commanders, you want to go Commanders quickly?
Yeah, so Eagles, I agree with everything you said. The question mark there for me is Jalen Hurts without Steichen.
Oh yeah, one more thing about Eagles. Are those coordinators going to be effective?
Yeah. So like, how much was Hurts' success based on Steichen? And now I think Hurts is fine. He's worked his ass off. I think he'll be fine. But Steichen's play calling could be different, right, from whoever their current guy is. I don't know if Sirianni's calling him. I don't know if the new OC is going to call him. So that's the biggest question mark there. Commanders, first things first, new ownership, breath of fresh air there. And it, like I said, from any interview I see, it's a big psyche thing, right? Like players are going to be more encouraged. And like I said before, and then, okay, now alluding to the actual team, Eric Bieniemy's there. Is he? No, this is his audition for the NFL because the reason why he doesn't get it, well, people, I'm not going to bring the race factor into this, but a lot of the reason why is because Andy Reid was there. That's their excuse for it.
It was clear that it was Andy Reid's offense. Yeah. With Bieniemy.
So it's now time to see, like, it's kind of like that. It was a Brady or Belichick between Bieniemy and Reid, right? And the difference is one guy has Patrick Mahomes.
But it could be both, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying. The one guy has Patrick Mahomes. The other guy has Sam Howell. Now, Sam Howell, one start, pretty good.
Solid start.
To the point where Ron Rivera was questioning, like, I don't know why I didn't do this before, right? And we're just bad on the head coach side of things. Can Bieniemy get the best out of him and fight them in a playoff spot? Again, I've said it before, Terry McLaurin is one of the most not talked about, underrated wide receivers in the game. Compared to, like, other big names, like DK Metcalf and all these guys, right? Like, because it's Washington. So, but I don't think they have enough firepower to not just the Eagles, but even the Giants and the Cowboys.
Yeah, so that's the difference, right? If they're in like the NFC South, I could see them winning the division.
Yeah,
but I genuinely do think this team will make it competitive. But I just think the other three teams just have that edge over them. Where I'm putting them fourth. Yeah. Defense, I like their defense. I like Eric Bieniemy hire. I think Sam Howell will do good. I think Sam Howell will do good.
That's the biggest question mark at the end
of
the day.
And even if they do, like, mess up really badly, end up with a number 1 overall pick, you got Caleb Williams. So
but even if they don't end up with the number 1 overall pick, let's just say Sam Howell does struggle.
Yeah, you got Drake May.
Name like, no, not even just rookie quarterbacks. A name like Kyler Murray could be potentially available.
Yeah, no, but like...
I'm just saying that in general.
Yeah, like, it's an easy replacement if Sam Howell does struggle.
Yeah.
All right, middle
now, the biggest thing is, why is the Giants?
Just go, because I think mine is more straightforward than yours, so I'll let you.
Giants, I don't know. This is a gut feeling. As simple as that. Like, this has nothing to do with, like, I know the Dallas defense, and I've alluded to the over-under, so I'm going to go check that segment out in the over and under when we talk about the Giants and the Cowboys. I just have the feeling where the Giants already had a good year. You got Saquon back. He's going to be on a tear as long as he's healthy because he never got his contract. And Brian Daboll did a great job this first year. And on top of that, you add one of the best weapons in Darren Waller, like arguably a top 3 tight end when he's healthy. Pass catcher has apparently been killing it in preseason and training camp, which helps guys like Darius Slayton, Saquon Barkley, for example. The biggest question mark on the offensive side, and defensively, before I get to the question mark, defensively, upgrades in Bobby Okereke, and I've said it before, Isaiah Simmons, for whatever reason, should not have been traded for a 7th round pick.
And Wink Martindale.
And Wink Martindale will get the best out of them, in my opinion, and we saw it in Baltimore, right? The question mark is Daniel Jones, and again, he got a good weapon now in the middle of the game, middle of the field,
yeah.
And Darren Waller. But $40 million a year for him after having
it's an overpay.
One decent year is definitely a question mark that has to be solved. Dallas, on the flip end, defensively, like I said to you guys before,
no issues.
You add Stephon Gilmore.
Quickly, they re-signed Leighton Vander Esch. They have Donovan Wilson, linebacker. Stephon Gilmore, obviously, we know about the Colts, what he did for us.
Not even just the Colts, like
the
days in
the Patriots as well. Like, everyone knows that Stephon Gilmore still has it.
Yeah.
And Dante Fowler Jr. as well for the edge.
So, no issues defensively. Dan Quinn wasn't rightfully getting head coaching positions. I don't know what Jerry Jones has on him that he's not getting. He's withdrawing himself, essentially.
Yeah, he's wants to stay.
Because he feels like Mike McCarthy might be gone. Who knows, right? And defensively, no issues. Offensively, I just mentioned Michael McCarthy. You got rid of Kellen Moore thinking he's the problem in play calling. So he might go simple, run the ball tactics. Problem is, if you don't have that running back. Tony Pollard, as good as he is, isn't that bruiser, right? Like a Zeke was. Dak, one of the leaders in interceptions last year. I don't think he was the leader, but like he was up there.
He didn't play enough games to be a leader.
Exactly.
Because
that was one problem. Two, he's in a contract year, so who knows how he's going to do, but pressure's on him. You're playing in Dallas for a reason. Jerry World, right? Mike McCarthy, I'm not trusting his play calling. That's the reason why I think that this is the year where the Giants will surpass the Cowboys. Simple as that.
My reasoning. Defense, I think Cowboys have the better defense. Do you agree with that? All right.
Yes.
You agree with that? Weapons, wide receiver wise, I think it's kind of similar. Obviously, with because I'm include wide receiver and tight end, and running backs. I think weapons are even.
Yeah,
in my
even
opinion.
Then. If you're including running back, then definitely even.
Yeah, it's definitely even. Obviously, Tony Pollard is a really good receiving back. So is Saquon Barkley. Tight end, obviously, Darren Waller has the edge over Dallas' tight end, and wide receivers, Dallas have the edge over any Giants tight ends. I mean, wide receivers.
Yeah.
With the addition of Brandon Cooks, and you have CeeDee Lamb there.
Yeah, I forgot about Brandon.
Offensive line, I think Dallas might have edged it a little bit.
But they're more health risk.
But they are more health risk. But so the question marks are this, like you said, play calling for Mike McCarthy, and the Dak Prescott, and then the other question mark is Daniel Jones. I do believe Dak Prescott. If it comes down to it, Dak Prescott will outplay. When they're in the game,
I agree with that 100%.
Dak will outplay Daniel Jones.
I just think Mike McCarthy will somehow find a way to mess it up.
I don't think that's gonna. I think that will show in the playoffs, but regular season wise, I think the defense will mitigate that risk, and as well as the weapon group.
Yeah, Cowboys fans, come at me, man. I'm calling you guys shit right now compared to the Giants.
That doesn't mean they're fully shit.
Yeah, no. Yeah. We'll get to the playoffs prediction in a second, but yeah, no. It's a gut feeling. I feel like this is the year.
This is NFC East, tough one, like the AFC North. But we're gonna move on to the NFC North, which is for us. We probably have different ones, so we'll go with you.
Detroit number 1, Minnesota number 2, Chicago number 3, Green Bay number 4.
All right, I have Minnesota number 1, Detroit number 2, and then Bears, Packers.
All this talk about Detroit being number 1 got changed all of a sudden for you.
Yeah, and I was really anticipating it, but I'll go to that later. Let's just go to Bears, Packers. I do believe the Bears took a step. For me, they're a toss-up. I think the Bears' off-season additions, they did enough for Justin Fields to take that step forward, where I don't believe the Packers did that for Jordan Love.
Yeah, no. For me, like I said, it was more of a toss-up, but I still I edged the Bear. Like if I even did a toss-up and it landed on the Packers, let's just say I did a coin flip, I would have been fine with that. So you
saw a world where Packers could be ahead of Bears?
Yes.
I didn't really see it. For me, it was Bears all day.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got feeling.
Yeah.
But
so that's that.
I just see that.
All right. Here's my reasoning for Vikings over Lions. I didn't know I forgot about Vikings getting Brian Flores. The Lions and the Vikings are very similar in my opinion. I think they have high power offenses, both of them, with their biggest question mark being at quarterback.
Yeah.
The Lions' offensive line is good, is very good, and they were a 4th ranked offense. Vikings, on the other hand, you have Kirk Cousins, you have Justin Jefferson, you have Jordan Addison, who I think is killing a preseason as well, right?
He's replacing Adam Thielen.
Yeah, and TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, I fully forgot about him.
Right, so I think they'll be fine, both of those teams. The issue is defensively. Who got better defensively? And they both did. But I just think when it comes down to those 2 games that they're going to play against each other, I think the Vikings will score more points than the Lions. I just do believe that.
So the one thing I want to mention, okay, before I bring up the news, because you mentioned TJ Hawkinson, I just want Detroit. I'm giving the trust in Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I know Jameson Williams is suspended for the first 6 games. They brought in Jahmyr Gibbs, high pick, but still that wide back. Dan Campbell gets the best out of that team, and I think this is the year they'll get over the hump. That's it. There's no other reason. I think Jared Goff in a head-to-head could edge out Kirk Cousins. I don't think that's a unfair.
But I think it could be the other way too.
Exactly. I don't think that's like an unfair thing to say.
Yeah, it's not
still.
Unfair. Yeah.
And yeah, no, I think Dan Campbell, the way he's now, this pick could make me either look like an idiot or he'll back me up on it. Simple as that. I can see them genuinely finishing 3rd as well.
Yeah, I know.
If they don't hit on the cylinders.
I don't think it's like as clear cut as people might think it is.
Yeah.
Like Lions, like my personal opinion, I did have the Lions winning it, but I ultimately, like, it was Lions Vikings for me.
Yeah.
But I ultimately did go Vikings Lions just because I think the Vikings, did it at a high level last year.
Because of that, I think they have the harder schedule. And then I favored that to the
You favor that to the Lions, right? Yeah, it's a good point there as well. But I think when it comes down to those two games, the Vikings and Lions, I just think that the Vikings defense could make that play. I mean, not play. I mean, I feel like the Vikings offense could make that one extra play to get.
You know, it's fair. Like this was definitely more of a toss up than the Packers and Bears for me. Like, this 100%. Was definitely Jets
Dolphins.
Josh Dolphins vibe. Before we continue, let's just get to the NFL news regarding to that because you mentioned him. TJ Hawkinson. Before we said that, it was reported that he was looking for a significant raise. He did. He is now he reset the market, but not significantly. 4-year, $68.5 million deal extension with the Vikings, with 42.5 of it being guaranteed. The $17.125 million average annual value makes him the highest paid tight end in NFL history. He's 26. One of the more underrated. Him and Dallas Goedert are like in the same tier. For me.
100%. He's not.
Could be arguable top 3. Could finish ahead of Andrews. I said arguable.
Top 5 at me at best.
Okay.
There's a clear top 3.
So, sorry, Darren Waller's there too. Yeah.
There's a clear top 4. There's a clear top 4.
Not for me, but agree to disagree for right now. Highest paid tight ends in average now. TJ Hawkinson, I just said it. Darren Waller's at 17, second. George Kittle 15. Travis Kelce 14.31. Dallas Goedert 14.25. Mark Andrews 14. Now the good news is all these are the top tight ends.
They are the top tight ends.
I think if I'm not forgetting anyone on top of my head, not including up and coming rookies and stuff like that. Like Kyle Pitts obviously should probably come on this list eventually. Travis Kelce's next contract is gonna be like 19 mil or 18 mil.
I guess, right? Probably.
There's no way he's gonna ask for less. Like, and then he deserves it too. At the end of the day, that's a guy you will pay because of reputation and
100%.
Team. So congrats, Hawkinson. You reset the market, not significantly, but you reset the market.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the NFC South now.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, sure we have to. We have to get all the signings done. But I'm gonna go with Saints, Panthers, Falcons, Bucks.
Same.
Exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah, my question mark came between Panthers and Falcons, but I just believe in Bryce Young more than I do believe in Desmond Ridder.
That's the only reason why. Otherwise, I would have had Falcons.
They are very similar.
I would have. Now, the most fun team might be the Falcons.
They're both gonna be fun teams.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I feel like Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan is a future 3-headed
weapon monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how I said Vikings and Lions are so similar?
Yeah.
The Panthers and Falcons will be so similar. That's why those two division games for me are gonna be fun to watch because quarterbacks young. Second, their Falcons had improved their defensive lead because Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell is a stud. They hit on that pick.
Calais Campbell
with Grady Jarrett on the D line, whereas the Panthers have Brian Burns. They have Jeremy Chin. I think they added Von Bell from the Bengals with having J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson at cornerback.
Yeah, toss up. Now, do I think both of the teams will make the playoffs? Probably not. But both will be fun teams, young teams. Like you said, Bryce Young is probably the more ready quarterback. We saw them go head to head, I believe, in the college playoff, if I wasn't mistaken.
Young and Ridder?
Yeah.
This is Ridder's second year.
No, in the NCAA, sorry, college.
Oh,
was that when the Cincinnati played? Did they play Bama or did they play Georgia?
Ooh, I think it was Bama.
It was Bama. I
Georgia,
think they went head to head, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Bama was one that year.
Yeah, so then it has to be them.
Yeah,
I think they went head to head, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was Bama, Cincinnati, then it was Georgia, Michigan.
Yeah, okay.
And then Georgia beat
They
Alabama.
already went head to head. So that does totally different teams. So I'm just saying that they already went head to head. So, but like you said, there's a reason why one guy went first overall and one guy went second or third round, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably the worst
NFC
division
South.
in football.
Yeah, and then NFC West.
We'll just quickly mention Tampa.
Tampa. Yeah.
Don't mean to disrespect you guys, but you guys don't have much to talk about ever since Brady retired and Bruce Arians left. But Baker, let's see, can you revive yourself? That's the biggest question mark.
But if you're not, you guys are in trouble.
And don't worry,
you have weapons.
What you said about Washington literally applies to these guys.
Yeah, I just don't think they're good enough for the rest of the three teams, and Baker is could probably be the worst quarterback by the end of the year. Obviously, right now, Ritter and Young have question marks. They have weapons, but like, can someone get them the ball?
And then let's talk about the Saints. I don't think we talked about the Saints much either.
Oh yeah, Saints.
We literally passed on it. No, Saints.
I think Derek Carr.
Yeah.
They have a question. They answered a question at quarterback, right? Derek Carr.
Taysom Hill was once upon a time the quarterback.
Derek Carr's at a place where someone
Listen,
wants him.
Based on their schedule, if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty easy.
Yeah,
I will be highly disappointed if they're not one of the top in contention of a bye. Now that being said, I don't think they're better than the Eagles or the Niners or anything. I'm just saying because at the end of the day, record comes on who you play and how do you win those games. I will not be surprised if they're. It's kind of like the Patriots. Yeah. With those Brady years, I will not be surprised if they do get a bye.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I feel like their schedule is much easier because they finished second or third.
Yeah. Defense is still there. No question marks there. Wide receivers, if Michael Thomas is healthy, but Chris Olave is still there.
For me, the biggest question mark is Dennis Allen. How is he gonna it showed a big downgrade between
Alvin Kamara suspended for his first 3 games as well.
Yeah, so Derek Carr, I still think he has it. I'm not saying like he's gonna be like this MVP guy, but I still think he's like Kirk Cousins.
If he was Derek Carr's 2 years ago, where he took that Raiders team to the playoffs, where John Gruden had that issue, Henry Ruggs had his issue, all that drama that the Raiders team had, and he still dragged that team to the playoffs. If he's that Derek Carr, this team is.
He's in a more
at a good spot.
He's in a more not. What's the word?
He's in a better environment.
Yeah, environment. He's in a much better environment. Fresh start. I still think he's better than Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff. I still think he's better than them. But he's definitely similar.
He's in that same range.
But I think he's better than them. And if he he has Chris Olave now, Michael Thomas, but Landry hasn't signed anywhere if I'm not mistaken. He's not there, right? I'll double check.
Yeah, I think Landry had 1 year.
Yeah, he signed a 1 year. But no, I think he'll be fine. But he'll be the question mark and to shut people up. And yeah.
All right, so NFC West, I'll just start that until you look up Landry stuff. 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals.
Jarvis Landry is a free agent. Sorry, go ahead. Say it again.
49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals.
49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. That's mine.
Yeah,
I think it was a straightforward one.
Straightforward. Cardinals are the worst team in the division. Rams are falling off.
I don't know why. I'm not gonna. This one I didn't really go with my gut, but I just have a weird feeling. I don't know why I have that feeling that they could.
I don't know why you have.
They could challenge for second, but ultimately my brain went over my heart.
The Seattle. Okay, I want to pull up the Seattle Seahawks additions.
And that's the reason why that shut me up.
Just have your thoughts on the Niners while I pull that up quickly.
Okay, Niners. Biggest question mark. We already know what it is. Is Brock Purdy the guy? Simple as that. We've seen Kyle Shanahan can get the best out of every quarterback he's played with, except he never really had an opportunity with Trey Lance because of injuries. He's been always in the playoffs. That defense. Now, the biggest question mark is Nick Bosa going to get a contract extension? If not, he's holding out similar to Chris Jones. Then there's a problem, for sure. They lost Samson Ebukam, but I know they added a guy from Philly.
Javon
Hargrave. So, but they're not Nick Bosa. Right? Simple as that. They're not Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa has to be on the field.
He has to be on the field. Then they'll be considered a Super Bowl contender for me. Otherwise, at this moment, you saw a report yesterday that he's looking to get the highest paid, I believe, or something. He's getting a contract.
Like he doesn't be rumored to be the highest paid.
Yeah, so if I'll follow that rumor and be like, okay, if he's playing, they're easily by far challenging Philly to be the top in the conference.
One thing I'm going to say about the Niners, they are a worse team on paper than last year because they lost D'Amico Ryans. They have lost Jimmy Ward, and they lost Michael McGlinchey, their O-lineman, right tackle, as well. So they have taken some hits.
Trent Williams is a question mark in health. But we all know he's the best O-lineman in the game. Offensively, I think they're still similar. Like, you have McCaffrey, you have Debo. You have a full year of McCaffrey now.
Yeah, you have Kittle, you have Ayuk. Obviously, Brock Purdy. But if he's like...
If he struggles, I think he'll be fine with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but if he's anything like last year, you're fine.
You're fine. That's the only question mark.
Here's why the Seahawks separate themselves from the Rams. Geno Smith has re-signed, and if Geno Smith is like last year, they have the better quarterback.
That's more of a question mark for me still.
Yeah. Running back, Kenneth Walker. Stud. Absolute stud. And
I think he's injured right now. I don't know if he's back, but...
Yeah. But here's their additions. Bobby Wagner, Devin Bush. that linebacker duo is gonna be nice.
Bobby Wagner jumped ship back.
Yeah, and Devin Bush former.
And like I've said it before. I said it in the tier list. I said in the over under. Bobby Wagner is Seattle, arguably in our time of watching, the greatest Seattle player. You could say Russell Wilson, but obviously Seattle fans are probably gonna be like, nah, fuck that guy. It's Bobby Wagner now because of the loyalty and all that. Still with LA was top tier. It wasn't like he's leaving because of he was shit. There was contract and reasons.
The Rams were shit.
Yeah,
and then he also
was
contract.
fine, but
he had a massive contract.
He also had a massive hit on a streaker.
I remember that. But Devin Bush, stud linebacker.
He was in Pittsburgh. He was
a former Pittsburgh player, so obviously he's gonna be a stud linebacker. That's a good ad for them. And then they added D tackle Draymond Jones, who's a solid. But
I think they made him one of their highest paid players ever, right?
I'm not actually sure about that, but yeah, they lost. Here are their losses.
And they added Devon Witherspoon in the draft.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that, but here are their losses, and here's their replacements. They lost Rashad Penny, Marquise Goodman, and Cody Barton. They replaced linebacker Cody Barton with the two linebackers I mentioned. Rashad Penny, there you have Kenan Walker, whatever. They replaced wide receiver Marquise Goodman with Jackson Smith in the Jigba. With having Tyler Lockett and
that's like literally like I said, I just
there.
had that weird gut feeling, but once I saw that, I'm like, I'm an idiot. And then if I just say that.
So you have a good wide receiver trio.
Yeah.
You have a stud wide receiver duo with Tariq Woolen and Devon Witherspoon. If Witherspoon lives up to what he's supposed to be, you definitely have that.
Who's their other linebacker again?
I don't know, but they added. I'm not sure who it was.
Double check.
But Bobby Wagner and Devin Bush are the starters.
Yeah. Jamal Adams is still injured. I don't think he's on the pop if I'm not
mistaken.
They
added giant safety Julian Love as well.
Yeah.
So that secondary is nice. Pete Carroll, defensive coach, will bring the best out of our defense. Geno Smith is the question mark only there.
Yeah, like Geno Smith has to show that. Like the good news is he's continuing with Pete Carroll. It's not like Pete Carroll.
Yeah, they had an A free agency. They had an A draft, in my opinion, and that's why they really separate themselves from the Rams.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me just pull up because I don't want to forget that guy's name. NFL. Talk about the Arizona Cardinals in the meantime.
I don't want to. I really don't want to. I mean,
do they have any stud at any position?
Not really. They lost everyone.
Kyler's
JJ
injured.
Watt's retired.
Yeah. I guess the only guy I'm happy for is Zach Ertz coming back.
Zach Ertz, Rondell Moore.
Yeah, but still, what? Like,
Kyler Murray's out for like first half of the season. They're screwed.
He might have already played his last game with the Arizona Cardinals already.
Kyler Murray?
Yeah, he might have.
He might miss the whole year. I mean, what's the point of coming back if your team's like 0-10?
Yeah. Where's the Seahawks for a sec? They're playing the Rams, ironic enough. Bro, if somehow the Seahawks lose that game, I'm going to come on here and be like, see?
The Rams are good.
The guy who I was talking about was... It's not on the defensive line.
I think you mentioned linebacker, right?
Yeah. Was it linebacker?
Bro, I think you're tripping. Are you tripping?
I'm probably...
You're tripping, bro. Because I think I've said everyone that you wanted to hear.
Okay, if it comes up, we'll say it again. Arizona, let's just say it right now, first overall pick.
Yeah.
But also the biggest winner because Houston.
Houston as well, right? They have
like if you have them fourth, then they're probably having like arguably the top two picks.
They could arguably
and they have options. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think they will not trade the pick away. I think they'll keep the pick, trade Kyler away to a team like Washington, for example, who I don't think will be bad enough to be quarterback driven early, unless they know how they. Jordan Brooks.
Oh yeah, Jordan Brooks. Yeah.
I mean, he's out. He's questionable, but
yeah, that's Jordan Brooks is a stud.
Yeah. But other than that, like the only positive is that like at the end of the year, you might have a duo of Caleb Williams and Brock Bowers, Caleb Williams and
Marvin Harrison Jr.,
or you pair Caleb Williams with an old lineman, right? So they're fine.
Future-wise, yeah.
Future-wise, they're fine. You know, embrace it, whatever. Jonathan Gannon, do you see that video?
No.
Of him trying to hype up his team and no one got hyped up. No one got hyped up.
They all know. They're all like,
you can tell. Like I'm like, okay,
like,
so we got the better coordinator, right?
it's gonna be a long season. They already know the players.
He's trying to be Dan Campbell, but failed.
Yeah, probably.
That's what it is. And I'm like, so we got the better guy.
We
and obviously, guy. Eagle fans are still being kind of delusional in a way. Like they're putting all the blame on him, like all the blame. Even though their defense was still immaculate during the whole year, I get it. The Super Bowl was the biggest game, and he kind of choked in the second half. But you're also going against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, AFC playoffs. Who are your 7 teams starting from 1 to 7?
Let me pull it up.
Mine is different from last year. I'll say that much.
Okay, so my 4 division winners: Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, Jaguars. So those are locks, right?
No, but like 1 to 4.
Oh, I didn't rank them.
Just quickly, just off your top of your head, just try it.
Bills, Chiefs. Sorry. Bills, Chiefs, Jaguars, Ravens. I'll just go that.
Okay, you go with that?
Or no. I'm going to go Chiefs, Bills, Jaguars, Ravens.
Okay, Chiefs, Bills, Jaguars, Ravens are your 1 to 4.
And then, yeah, I didn't rank that. I just put my names down here. I thought we weren't going to rank them. And then the 5, 6, 7, I left off Miami. I'll say that much.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, I'm going to go Bengals, then Chargers, and then the Jets.
All right, so my number 1, and here's my reasoning for number 1, is the Bengals. Because I think the Bengals, in order to win that division, they're going to have to play some real football, and they're going to have to go on.
Makes sense.
They're going to have to go on that massive jump to be, like, the best team in the division. And the conference, like, they're going to have to go with, like, that 14-win record type of thing, in my opinion. 13 wins could be enough, too. Number 2 is the Bills. I'm dropping the Chiefs to 3, and I'm keeping the Jaguars at 4.
I actually think the Jaguars might have, like, because of their division's easy, they might pick up. They might even go 6-0, right? That's the only reason why.
Yeah, they can. My 3 wildcard teams. So I had 5 teams contesting for it, right? Dolphins, Jets, Chargers, Browns, and Ravens, right? But I ultimately went with Dolphins 5, Jets 6, Chargers 7.
So you left off the Browns?
I left off the Browns and the Ravens.
Okay. Yeah, I left off between those. I had I chose because obviously I went Jets over Miami. I can't pick Miami in, right? And then I think because I have the Bengals off not winning the division, and I have Ravens winning the division, I don't disrespect the Bengals like that either. So
Bengals have to be in.
So Miami, I left them off simply because Tua. That's it. The health. Nothing else to it.
So then NFC playoffs.
Okay, so I got to rank them again.
Just quickly, just say rankings. I think it's pretty simple.
Eagles, Niners, Saints, Lions.
Okay, then.
But the top 3 teams will battle for the top spot. Just because I put the Saints
I'll say mine, yeah. Eagles, Niners, Saints, Vikings.
Okay, so same.
Maybe. Yeah.
Then I went Giants, Cowboys, Seattle.
Giants, Cowboys.
I was battling Seattle with Minnie a lot, and I took Minnie off.
So you took Minnie off?
I took Minnie off.
So I had the similar 4. Like you had Giants, Cowboys, Seattle, and Minnie. Mine were Cowboys, Seahawks, and Giants, and I left the Lions out.
So they went from division winners to not make it.
I mean,
it makes sense.
In my opinion, you have to win a division to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you're making it through wildcard.
Similar idea. Tough. I think Seattle, like you said, like you literally listed Seattle's additions. That's why I put them ahead of Miami.
Yeah. So I went with Cowboys 5, Seahawks 6, Giants 7.
Yeah.
So then your Super Bowl 2 teams.
Bills will beat the Niners.
I went with Eagles beating the Bengals. I just went with the 1 seeds.
Okay. I feel like the Niners always flip flop. I just was stuck with that.
My prediction last year was Bills Niners. Okay. When the playoffs started.
I don't think the Chiefs might not make it this year.
I do not think the Chiefs make it.
I think the Bills will finally get over the hump, personally. And dark horse again is still Jacksonville.
And if you want to say one for the NFC, could be Saints. And it could be the Giants.
Yeah. But like obviously Eagles are still a favorite to make it.
Cowboys are considered a favorite. They're always considered a favorite, right?
But
they're not dark horse because the media hypes them up so much.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think it might be Bills and Niners year this year.
Yeah.
And one of the teams will finally get over the hump, at least in the recent memory.
Yeah, I think Eagles make back-to-back. And I picked the Eagles over the Bengals because I think the Eagles defense will have like the similar play like how Aaron Donald ended it against the Bengals.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to talk about coaches on the hot seat right now and trade targets? Or do you want to keep that for Thursday?
We'll keep that for Thursday because I did not look into that.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you.
I'll keep that on Thursday. I mean, on the top of my head, just very quickly, hot seat, Brandon Staley, Mike McCarthy, are the 2 off the top of my head. Off the
top, yeah.
Trade targets off the top. I said it on the tier list as well.
Adams and Cup.
And DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, potential.
Yeah. Like, and Jonathan Taylor, I guess, because
Taylor has to be thrown in there as well.
Okay, so we'll go into a little bit more detail, but I think those are the fair ones off the top. All right, let's finish off these predictions with the MVP or awards. Do you want to go MVP down, or do you want to go the other way up?
Well, cool.
You want to end it on a hot note with MVP, or do you want to start off with a hot note?
We'll go Coach of the Year up.
Okay, so Coach of the Year, my 3 candidates, and then name your winner, are Dan Campbell, Robert Saleh, and Doug Peterson. I went with Dan Campbell because I put him in the playoffs.
Okay, here's where I went a little bit different route. I went with Nick Sirianni, Doug Peterson, and Dan Campbell.
Dable won last year, right?
Dable won last year.
I think that was, as much as he deserved it too, I think Peterson got robbed. I'm still gonna say that.
You think Peterson got robbed?
Doug Peterson
Got robbed.
Yeah,
that was Dable's.
I thought it was his because Dick Jacksonville was not supposed to take that big of a jump either.
No, that was Dable's to lose.
I think because they won the division, but
Jaguars just had a good second half of the season.
Okay,
right? Giants were good from.
Okay, we don't need to get into the debate. I still think he got robbed. Well, we disagree because it's a different year, but yeah.
Man, I wish it was last year. We were doing this, bro. That was Dable. But yeah, I went with Sirianni just because I feel like if I put him as my 1 seed. I put him as a Super Bowl winner as well. I know that doesn't matter of fact, but another reason is he lost his coordinators, and if they could do that, like how I project them, what they're gonna do, I think he has to be Coach of the Year. Like I think it's just like logic based.
The reason why I gave it Dan Campbell is not no one. People think they might make the playoffs, but it's still a big thing because you literally changed your prediction to Minnesota. Robert Saleh, I think, might be the more of the favorite because the Jets could literally make the playoffs comfortably.
Yeah, so I still had Peterson and Dan Campbell in there.
Yeah,
as well. So like I don't disagree with any of those. But I just feel like if I'm putting the Eagles as the best team, I just feel like the best team's coach kind of should be winning it.
So
type of thing.
What happened with Brian Dable then?
Huh? That's like I don't know, but I'm just projecting. No, I'm saying he Sirianni got lost.
Okay, yeah,
you
were reasoning. That's what the way you ended that. I'm like, okay, so Brian Dable, he was literally third in that division. That's why.
Yeah, because it's a mix, right? Like the Eagles, you kind of expected to be good, type of thing, but the Giants took that jump, like you said. What Peterson did took that jump, right? But I'm still expecting the Eagles to be good, where Nick Sirianni lost his coordinators.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair. Comeback. I think there's only one answer.
Yeah, I mean I put 3, but DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, here's the question. I don't think Calvin Ridley is considered comeback player of the year because he's suspended. And I tried to Google if suspension is a thing. I couldn't see anything. I didn't put him in there.
I'll tell you my 3 right now. DeMar Hamlin, obviously winning it. For me, it's like similar as the Alex Smith winning it, right?
Yeah, this is way more.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, no, Alex Smith has won through it.
Yeah, but like this one, it was life threatening.
Yeah, Alex Smith was too.
Was it?
Yeah, the surgery failure.
Oh, okay.
Kind of messed up his thing.
Don't mean to be.
Yeah, no, it was life threatening, right?
Yeah,
they're not supposed to be on a football field, but they still are. So DeMar Hamlin making the roster, like how Alex Smith did, is like I feel like it's once he steps on the field, he wins it all. As with Alex Smith, Lamar Jackson and Calvin Ridley are my other 2. Just cause.
I went Russell Wilson. I don't know who else to put. I just put Russell Wilson. I won't be surprised if he does. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
I don't have a third one. Like I genuinely couldn't figure out who it could be.
Just say Lamar Jackson. That's your third.
The predictions I saw was Aaron Rodgers. I'm like,
no, just say Lamar Jackson. That makes sense because he was injured like most of the year.
Maybe he was injured most of the year before too.
Who?
Lamar Jackson.
So he's gonna be double comeback. All right. Yeah, we all know it's DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah.
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
So my 3 were Will Anderson, Devon Witherspoon, Jalen Carter.
That's exactly my 3.
And I went Jalen Carter.
I went Will Anderson though.
Okay, I went Jalen Carter. I'm like, again, when it comes to Rookie of the Year, I know you're not supposed to consider winning a big factor into it because they're rookies, and it's not the fault of, for example, Will Anderson if their team doesn't make the playoffs.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
But if you're a factor in making the playoffs, for example, that Scotty Barnes in the Raptors year, like that, or like anything like compared to Cade Cunningham, this is why I'm putting Jalen Carter. I know he has a good defense around him, but I still think he will be the guy to come out of it and show his force.
I think
Micah Parsons style.
Will Anderson has been chosen to be the guy.
Yeah,
the defensive guy of the future.
There's a reason why they traded up to get him.
Yeah, so I think he will just put insane numbers. Obviously, I did put the Texans at 4th, but then again, I think I just think his situation, allows him to be,
It's
the guy.
It's so tough.
I don't think Jalen Carter is the guy.
It's so tough because like Tyree Wilson is still there, but Max Crosby, how much of that's going to be, and Chandler Jones. I mean, again, I'm not trying to contradict myself here, but I think because the Eagles are going to be a better record than the Raiders, that's why I went with Jalen Carter. Devon Witherspoon, like obviously Tariq Woolen's on the other side of him. There's other guys too, right? Like Will Anderson. There's I forgot who it was. I saw a name, Jack Campbell, was it?
Yeah, Jack Campbell for Detroit Lions.
Yeah, so
I mean, like Christian Gonzalez could become a god for the Patriots as well.
True, yeah, like that was a big steal.
That was a steal for sure as well. But
All
yeah,
right.
I ultimately went
rookies
with
tough
Will
to
Anderson.
predict, but yeah, speaking of rookies,
Oroy.
Oroy, offensive rookie of the year. Bijan, Bryce Young, A-Rich. And obviously I said all this about CJ Stroud, but I feel like Anthony Richardson's rushing stats will help him in this case. But my winner is Bijan Robinson.
I put Bijan, Bryce Young, and Zay Flowers.
Okay.
And Bijan winning it because I think he's going to get a lot of touches.
Yeah, that's the only reason why. I have Bijan winning it. The only way, like I would have put, if Bryce Young is capable of carrying that team to a playoff spot or close to it, then I would have given it to Bryce Young.
If Bryce Young takes
any of the rookie quarterbacks,
if any of the rookie
other than that, I feel like it's gonna be this is gonna be a stats award because I don't think any of those guys are gonna be it, and I think it's gonna be Bijan.
Yeah, I agree. We'll go with Depoy.
So I have a caveat. I didn't put Nick Bosa on my thing.
I didn't either.
So my caveat is if he's gonna play from the beginning, then he's on my top 3, but I don't have it.
I'm leaving him out.
So my top 3 are Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons.
Who's your winner?
I went with Micah Parsons this time.
So
I wanted to give it to Myles Garrett so bad.
Mine is the exact same thing.
Bro, okay.
I went Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and I'm giving it to Micah Parsons.
I wanted to give it to Myles Garrett so bad. I'm like, you know what? Micah will get the love this year for sure.
And that's probably the one Cowboys guy I don't hate because
he's hilarious.
His jokes, he's actually...
classic face-up drop.
He lives up to the hype
Yeah.
of the Cowboys media.
Literally plays every position.
He does everything for them.
Oh, comeback player of the year potential could be Shaq Leonard too. Just cause.
Just cause.
That's where my bias will come out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Offensive player of the year.
This was so tough.
It was tough.
I'm not gonna disclose my final 3, but these were the names I had on that list. I had Jamar Chase on this list. I had Austin Eckler on this list. I had Nick Chubb on this list. Oh no, sorry, he's still on my list.
Okay.
I was looking at the MVP one. I had Christian McCaffrey. I was going to say on my list. I had Amon-Ra St. Brown on my list.
So yeah, just to look at a lot more.
My final 3 were Jefferson, Chubb, and Waller. I'm going with Nick Chubb.
That's fair. I do not disagree with that.
I really wanted to give it to Darren Waller though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that, but mine is different.
Oh, I had Calvin Ridley on my list as well.
Oh, but mine is different. I went Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey.
I had Tyreek Hill on my list as well.
Christian McCaffrey. And I'm giving it to McCaffrey. If he's healthy and he's doing receiving and rushing, this guy will absolutely... The 49ers, there's a reason why they traded for him. There's a reason why they went on that run when they got him, right? And he stayed healthy. He will help out Brock Purdy so much. He will help out that offense so much. And he will be... The offense is going to run through him and Kittle.
Yeah.
Mainly. But
this one's like a hard word to predict. Like I won't be...
It's tough. Like Jefferson could win it again.
Yeah, like
Jefferson could win
right?
it again.
Like I saw like, the predictions I saw were like Jamar Chase and Christian McCaffrey. I'm like, I'm going to go a little different. I wanted to go Darren Waller really bad here. But I stuck with...
Yeah,
Saquon was on my list too.
I just couldn't go against McCaffrey.
Yeah, I just went with Chubb. I'm like, I just feel like for the Browns to do something, he's going to be the guy. And like you said, like even though I had him 3rd place, I will not be surprised if they're fighting for that final playoff spot anyways.
Yeah. All right, so last one is MVP.
Again, many options. You could throw in Mahomes. You could throw in Trevor Lawrence. You could throw in Aaron Rodgers, right? Like those are some names on the top of my head. Joe Burrow. My final 3 were Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, and I went with Josh Allen.
Okay, you give it Josh Allen. I wanted to give it Josh Allen, but I didn't put him in my 3. I still respect Patrick Mahomes too much to not.
And I didn't put him in.
I still respect him too much.
I feel like there might be a voters fatigue shit coming out. That's why I didn't just.
I still respect him too much to not put him in my 3.
I know.
Same with Jalen Hurts, since same argument with Sirianni. He's gonna have to be a stud if Eagles gotta be
without Steichen.
If I'm putting the Eagles that high, right? But my MVP winner this year is Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, I went with Josh Allen. Same vibe as you.
Yeah.
I feel like Josh Allen. Obviously, we both have Joe Burrow higher than him, and the way Josh Allen ended his year and the higher interceptions, I feel like he's gonna
come back strong. Yeah, that's true. Josh Allen was my fourth guy. Like, I wanted to put him in the list too, but like you can only have 3. But Josh Allen was
tough to pick, man. Like that AFC side especially is stacked.
It is stacked.
It's stacked.
That wraps up our predictions.
Yeah, I don't think we have any more NFL standings. News anyways. Yeah. So we predicted the NFL season. We have the script. Come back to the end of the year to see if everything lines up.
This is
now here's the thing.
Are we the script writers?
No, well, the problem is we have different scripts. So depends on what the NFL chose. Did they choose my script or did they choose your
which script makes the best movie between me and you? We'll see what happens.
Mine, because Dan Campbell's involved.
I have the Patrick Mahomes MVP race.
Boring.
Huh?
Boring.
Well, the script loves that though.
The script loves it, but entertaining value, you got.
No, it doesn't matter.
You got Dan Campbell
you think
biting
the script
kneecaps.
writers care about the freaking entertainment of the fans? They're like, okay, the Chiefs win.
No, but are you asking like the entertainment, or you're talking about like the actual like result?
Huh?
I have both still.
Script writers.
I still have both.
The script writers just find a way to do some stupid stuff.
I wonder who script they chosen, but no. As all jokes aside, comment your guys' predictions below. Call us idiots if you guys want. Who do you think
will be more right?
Who will be more right? Who do you think had the better predictions between us? Let's see. Let's get our egos raised up here and deflated at the same time. Let's move on.
That's that, right?
One last football news. We forgot to mention this coach. We mentioned to forget this guy's team in college. It's the Colorado Buffaloes.
They upset TCU. TCU was ranked 17.
But who we're talking about is Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders coach. But the most important stat is a guy had 60 snaps at halftime.
I think he finished with 110 or something.
That is insane.
Travis Hunter. So, a little backstory. Deion Sanders once upon a time coached Jackson State, HBCU, right? And he was offered obviously a lot of money. Obviously, that's why he left Jackson State. He went over to Colorado, which I never heard of before, I'll be honest with you, in terms of a big school when it comes to football. Now, granted, we came to college football a little late. And he took the job, essentially brought his son as the QB and his other son, and Travis Hunter.
Son out of the game, too.
And everybody over to Colorado. Now, the problem with this was he literally had a meeting with them and said, if you guys want to fight for your spot or blah, 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 that's up to you. Otherwise, get out of the door because I have reinforcements coming. Now, obviously, Colorado players probably didn't take that lightly. And listen, the reason why he's coming is because your team was probably ass. That's why he was coming. And obviously, there was a lot of backlash towards that. And I don't disagree with what Deion said, Prime said, as long as he does it fairly, right? And now, granted, his son is the QB, so I feel like that one's a little...
But his son put up 500
But here's
yards.
the thing. No, but here's the thing. The QB is the most important position. Your team's ass. Definitely there's something wrong there. Right?
Yeah.
Now, maybe he did do a proper thing, but people are still going to say it's nepotism. That's your son.
That's the thing, right?
Because at the end of the day, Doug Peterson did release his kid and then brought him back on the practice squad. But obviously, he brought back Travis Hunter, who isn't in this year's draft, but definitely should be a first overall pick because
wide receiver,
he's the Shohei Ohtani of this team.
He had 100+ yard receiving, 10+ interceptions. I think it was 11 total, and an interception.
10+ interceptions?
10+ receptions.
Reception. Okay, I heard
Yeah. So I think it was 11 receptions.
Yeah.
And 1 interception.
Yeah. Dude's a stud, play like on both sides of the ball. Probably should be a Heisman favorite. I know Caleb Williams and Michael Penix, Bo Nix, all these quarterbacks are going to get the love.
But this guy is someone to watch for. That's all I'm gonna say.
Colorado's we completely forgot to mention the team to watch because I completely forgot
about Deion.
They're in the thing. Obviously a lot of love from the coaches. The players in the league because Deion flipped the script instantly, and he's usually not done this quick. Right, this isn't like he's coming into Alabama who had like 2 bad years and replaced Nick Saban. Obviously, bad example because it's Nick Saban, but I'm like he's not like Michigan, for example.
Yeah,
that's a better example to use. He didn't come in and be like, flip 2 years of bad years, flip them, right? Because there were talks where Harbaugh was gonna either leave or get fired. He is suspended for 4 games. But no, this is a whole different program. He flipped and then beat last year's finalists. Now, granted, they don't have their
They're
players
still ranked.
probably.
They're a ranked school.
Yeah, like granted, they don't have Max Duggan anymore, but whatever, right? Like he killed it. Let's see how they do. I'm wondering what their schedule is like in the future, but we'll shout out to you guys and we'll get to that. All right, moving on. Let's get to FIBA. Before we continue, as long as it all works out, we're supposed to give you guys a bonus episode. I know I said this with the Women's World Cup, and I'm hoping I'm not jinxed again, knock on wood. But I have talks, we're in conversation. It isn't like I'm getting ghosted, at least as of right now. But we might have a bonus episode for you guys, depending on how his schedule is. I'm not going to reveal who this guy is, but he's a stud. He's grinding. That's all you got to know.
Yeah,
he's at the
grinding.
World Cup. We're getting it live from the World Cup as long as he's still there. But FIBA, man, oh man, Canada
Pulled it off. They pulled it off.
Right? The Brazil game didn't happen before the last episode. I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't know. They lost
Friday.
the
Yeah, no. So they shot the bed on Friday night
against Brazil.
Against Brazil, what they should have won, right?
And now it became a win-in situation against.
Because Spain lost to Latvia.
Yeah, and it became between them, Spain is the better team.
Yeah. And then Spain, number 1 ranked in the world, obviously on paper. You could probably still say it's the U.S., but U.S. lost to Lithuania themselves. Spain had to play Canada in a winner-go-home situation, both teams, in the Game 7. Same thing with Latvia and Brazil. And the problem, let's go back to Friday. You watched most of the second half. I watched most of the first half. It was a shit show.
Like, it was a shit show in that fourth quarter.
A lot of ISO heavy.
Terrible percentage shooting-wise. From the whole entire game, they did not play at their pace. They played at Brazil's pace, who wanted to slow the game down.
Yeah.
So yeah,
a lot of bad shot selections, not hitting them. So everybody kind of lost a little faith. You know, they're playing Spain. Spain's probably coming out of revengeance as well. Now, granted, the first quarter pretty even. It was literally tied.
It was tied. Yeah.
The second quarter, Spain took a 10-point lead.
Same as the
third quarter.
Kind of raced it,
but then somehow lost the quarter by 2, and we're down 12 going into the fourth. And everybody's like, oh, here we go. Because here's the thing. Olympic qualifiers on the line. Here, the reason is if they had won the Brazil game, it would have been easier to qualify because Brazil is part of the Americas. But they still had a chance to qualify this today or Sunday because Brazil lost eventually to Latvia, right? Dominican Republic lost. And Italy, Serbia won. I forgot who the third team. I'll double check. But so they had a chance. As long as Canada won, everything was in their favor. They would have qualified, and they were getting, their defense was a little shaken up a little bit. There were moments.
So Spain is good movement, bro.
Horrible officiating though. I'm gonna say that. Like I do understand the consistency of the calls, but Shea, Dylan Brooks. I don't want to hear anything bad about Dylan Brooks again.
I'm a Dylan Brooks fan for now. Again,
but if he's on your team, you could. Man, he hit his shots. That's the key thing.
He hit his shots.
He hit 3 clutch
22
threes.
points, I think.
Because RJ missed the 2.
RJ. Here's the thing. It started off with RJ, then it obviously slowly went to Dylan Brooks, and Shea finished it off.
Yeah. RJ missed like 2 threes. Shea missed it, then Nikhil hit it. I think Ludort missed 3 as well. Then Dylan Brooks came out and hit him 3. Hit 3 of them. Foul trouble. Dylan Brooks. Roger Bear fouled out. But yeah, Canada got it done. Spain's out of the World Cup. Last time's champs are out of the World Cup. Defending champs are out. So not only did they qualify to the quarterfinals, which is like a weird setup of the tournament.
They qualified
for the Olympics for the first time since 2000, 24 years ago. 23 years ago, but 24 years ago once the
Olympics started. Yeah.
And you know who was on the squad outside of Steve Nash? Rowan Barrett Sr.
Oh, RJ Barrett's dad.
No, yeah. So RJ Barrett's dad, who's like the GM of Canada basketball, was on that squad. Obviously, RJ Barrett acknowledged that, and let's go right now. They have a squad to win it all. Clearly, Jordi Fernandez, shout out to him. The flaws are still there. Like they have no interior defense whatsoever.
They need bigs.
Kelly Olynyk big threes as well.
Yeah, they need to develop some bigs. That's for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah. Proud Canadian. Shout out Canada.
Yeah, shout out
Can't
Canada.
wait till Wednesday morning, 6:30 in the morning though.
Yeah, that's the only issue.
5:30. Sorry, 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's even
so at
worse.
least I get to watch most of the game before I leave for work. They're playing Slovenia. Luka's in town. Not in town here, but they're playing Luka in Manila this time. They're moving from Jakarta, Indonesia to Manila, Philippines. Let's see how it goes because Germany spanked Luka, because I'm literally going to say Luka. But at the end of the day, it's Euroball type of vibe.
Anything
FIBA's
could
Euroball type of vibe. Anything could happen, and chemistry matters.
Yeah, it's just like figure out a way to slow down Luka, and then you have a chance of winning.
Other side of things, U.S. finally lost the first game, but because they won the first one, survived Montenegro.
Do you have the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it.
U.S. will be fine. We already know that they were already in, and I think it's USA, Italy, Latvia, and I forgot.
Latvia, Germany.
Oh, Latvia, Germany. So I think that's one side. Then the other side is Canada.
Well, I don't know about the bracket. I'll pull up the bracket, but
yeah, that's
Lithuania, Serbia, Italy, USA, Latvia, Germany, Canada, Slovenia.
So that's it. That's what it is.
Yeah. By the way, the finals will be on Sunday, September 10th at 5:40 in the morning.
Oh God damn it!
And there's a chance Canada can make it. And against
there is
the US.
a chance. That's for sure.
Bracket wise, it's like.
It's what you mentioned. You said in the order.
No.
It's USA, Italy. It's
Germany.
Latvia, Germany.
I wasn't looking. I just listed
Latvia,
teams.
Germany.
I thought it was done by schedule.
It's whatever Canada, Slovakia, and then Serbia, and who was it again?
Yeah. Okay. So it's Italy, US, winner versus Germany, Latvia.
Yeah.
Lithuania, Serbia, winner versus Canada, Slovenia.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Honestly, if we get past, we could get to the finals.
They can. They genuinely
because they
can.
avoid Germany and US till the final.
Yeah.
Now that being said, Lithuania did beat the US. You can't take anyone easy because literally we lost probably. Outside of Lebanon, we beat them, but out of all the teams we played, the second worst team is probably Brazil because Latvia clearly showed that they're the better team.
Yeah. So that is the FIBA updates.
Get by Luka, and we're good.
Yeah.
And yeah, we might have a bonus episode for you. That's why we're not gonna go in too much in detail.
Yeah.
No NBA news. We're not gonna even waste time onto that. MLB playoffs. There's just one small update. It's gonna take like 2 minutes. It's literally we mentioned it during trade deadline period, I think it was, or even before that.
It was a while back. Yeah.
That Jeff Passan has reported that pitch clock rules used throughout the Major League Baseball season will remain the same during the 2023 postseason, so key this year. Sources familiar with the situation tell ESPN the rules, just a reminder, 15 seconds with no runners on, 20 seconds with runners on. Players had expressed hope for more time or eliminate it completely.
Did they increase time?
No, it's 15
It's the
seconds.
same times, right?
15 seconds with no runners and 20 seconds.
Okay, why did I think it was like 10 and 15?
No, it was 15 and 20.
Oh, I thought it was 10 and 15.
And then the batter has to be ready by 11, I believe.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I wasn't in favor of taking it away, but I also wanted more time, type of thing, because I don't want the World Series to be over because of a pitch clock violation.
Yeah.
Right. So that reason I wanted more time, but I did not want it removed either for the playoffs because I feel like it might mess up with the timings as well for the players as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, extra innings rules, as long as that's not in there, I don't hate it.
I don't think they had extra.
Yeah, I didn't have it last year anyway. So yeah.
So that being said, that's the MLB news. Let's get into some soccer. We have not just transfer recap. We have a regular recap if we really want to. We have international break coming up, so we'll probably do next episode will be our next episode, or the episode after will be our first 4-game recap of the EPL probably. And we have some stuff to say, Man United fans, but we'll talk about the game today.
So we're gonna talk about EPL like fully, or
no.
So just keep it.
We'll only talk about Man United Arsenal.
We'll keep it Man United Arsenal just because that was game of the year so far. But should we start with transfers first?
Or Champions League? You want to get that over with? Because I forgot to put it on the board. I have it on here.
All right, Champions League started.
Champions League and Europa League group stages. More care about more of the Champions League are set. And off the bat, Group F.
Group F is group of death. As simple as that. All right, it's what?
PSG.
Dortmund, PSG, Newcastle, and AC Milan.
Yeah. And let me just pull it up fully. It is so off the bat, Group A, Bayern Munich.
I mean, we don't have to say all of them, right? Like,
okay, fine.
But like, what are the ones that intrigue you? Obviously, Group F is one. Group A intrigues us because it's Manchester, Bayern Munich, Galatasaray.
Which is the second best, I think. Second hardest. Group stage, here we go. So let's start off with Group A. This is literally right here. Manchester United, Bayern Munich, Copenhagen, and Galatasaray.
Obviously, we're United fans. That's why
we should get out of the group.
I think so.
We should,
as well.
But I will not. Knowing how our team is and all the fucking behind the scenes that's going on, it's pissing me off. We won't be surprised if Galatasaray somehow get out of it.
And we already mentioned Group F is group of death.
Yes. So that's PSG, Dortmund, Milan, Newcastle. Listen, Newcastle's kind of struggling, but If it's last year's Newcastle somehow shows up, kind of like how West Ham kind of did with their Europa League or Conference League.
League, yeah.
They'll be. This will be tough. Every game will be tough. PSG will get into the transfers, like we said, made some changes. I will not be surprised if somehow they win it, especially if Mbappe were to leave and they win. It'll be hilarious. I want that to happen next year. If that
They're
happens.
not winning it.
No. I'm just saying if that, it'll be hilarious.
Yeah, it'll be funny.
Dortmund almost won it last year. The league.
Yeah.
Their league. Milan.
It's always solid.
And Newcastle will put up a fight. City once again easy group.
Yeah, no.
Barca, Porto. Yeah.
I think Arsenal has Sevilla.
This is the most random group. Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, Lazio, Celtic.
That is random.
That's like you always get that one random group.
Yeah, and I think Arsenal has Sevilla, right?
Yeah, Arsenal has Sevilla, but yeah, and everyone has like kind of a partner. Real Madrid, Napoli.
Yeah.
And then Benfica, Inter. So those are the Champions League groups.
If you want to look at it full, you could just search it up.
Group F is the one to keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
And obviously,
and whatever you're a fan of.
Yeah, whatever you're a fan of. Europa League, very quickly, the one group that caught my eye, obviously I don't know many teams, so we're not even going to go through it, is
Liverpool's?
No, Liverpool was an easy one.
They're easy.
It was Ajax, Marseille, Brighton, Ike.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Brighton, the way they're started right now in the league is crazy.
Ajax are solid.
Ajax are going to be solid. They have a new coach, so they kind of struggled last year.
But they'll be fine. Like this,
and Marseille is still going to be decent.
Yeah, so that is a group of that.
West Ham, let's see how they do. They kind of have a hot start. Well, they got their ass kicked on the weekend by Brighton. No, wrong team. That was Newcastle.
No.
That was Newcastle.
Yeah.
Did it not West Ham? Oh, you were Luton Town.
No,
so they
that
won.
was something else. Yeah.
No, because I you know what was in my head?
What?
Mikel Antonio got benched. You took him off your FPL. That's why I was thinking that happened.
I made a mistake.
Yeah. And you made him captain, by the way, instead
that
of
was the mistake.
Yeah, that's the only group I really care about. The notable teams in this, if you guys want to watch, I'm not going to name every team. Bayer Leverkusen, AS Roma, Lukaku's in the Europa League now, Villarreal, Liverpool, Atlanta and Sporting CP are in a group, Real Betis and Rangers, Marseille, I already said that one, and then West Ham, Olympiacos. Those are
and one more team is Sevilla.
Yeah.
Just because, why not?
If they drop down and repeat, that's what's going to happen.
All right, so that's the European competition draws done. We'll go transfers right now.
Yeah, okay, so off the bat, we're not going to go through every transfer. Sofian Amrabat off the bat, done.
It's done.
Finally, you're stupid. We'll get to the England. We'll get to the United game.
Yeah,
but
we're not gonna. I don't want to waste.
It was
time
the worst. We got the player which we needed.
But
worst saga ever.
We done the most stupidest way possible. That's all I'm gonna say.
They're like, oh yeah, no one's gonna bid for you anyways. We might as well wait. You guys realize that we're 4 games into the season now.
Yeah, we could have used Amrabat against Odegaard today.
Yeah, like against all teams.
Yeah,
we could have literally got that done. All right, like Mason Mount was willing to even do the same thing, and you could have gotten a cheaper deal for him too. Now I don't know how much of that was Ten Hag prioritizing Mount, or how much of that was Mortog and Richard Arnold, whatever his name is, and yeah. But that's one
done,
move.
Yeah.
Sticking with Man United quickly, Greenwood is Getafe loan, so it's not surprising he left.
Yeah,
but
makes sense.
Yeah, and then we officially got rid of Dean Henderson. I really wish he had an opportunity. That COVID, he got COVID, and then David never looked back.
That moment ruined it for him.
Yeah,
because he had the starting job.
He was gonna get the job. But anyways, big news now. Off the bat, Liverpool rejected a 150 million bid on Mo Salah. Little bit surprised. I understand the replacement.
But it was the last day. That's why they couldn't replace Salah.
Yeah,
that's the reason.
If Salah wants out, then he would have been gone.
Yeah,
but keep in mind, the Saudi league thing still continues for 2-3 more weeks.
Yeah,
so talks could still happen.
I doubt it.
I don't think Salah's that type of guy.
If they do that, Liverpool threw away their season.
Yeah, like I don't think Salah, unless Salah demands it, right? Like then
I doubt it. No, Salah would have demanded it.
I think they would wait till January.
They'll wait. I think it's next year. I don't think it's January.
I'm just saying at the minimum they'll wait for January.
Yeah, obviously that makes sense, but no.
But like Liverpool is smart, like unlike Man United, of selling players high. Raheem Sterling, Philip Coutinho, Luis Suarez.
They will do it with Salah.
Fernando Torres.
But they will do it next year.
Yeah.
Randall Colomwani.
Yeah, let's go with that one. Randall Colomwani is a PSG player.
For 90 mil.
More famous for probably getting his shot robbed by Andy Martinez. Probably will haunt him for the rest of his life.
Well, that's
especially if they don't win one anymore.
Unless he wins one, obviously that's the only way
but
to get over it.
the moment he wants.
That moment,
yeah.
is definitely.
But
you
yeah,
thought France won it all.
75 plus 15 add-ons.
So it could be 90
he was
mil.
one of the guys United were linked to. Many guys, strikers. PSG were heavy to get him. They ended up getting him on the last day.
So that
I never heard of him till the World Cup. So let's see how he does.
and he did well.
That's what I'm saying. Like if Mbappe leaves and they're building, let's just say they're building a young foundation there now with Ousmane Dembele, because Marco Verratti's gone too now.
They have no midfield.
Yeah. Let's see how that goes. Barca. The Yaos.
Yeah.
The Jaos are there. Both
Yao
on loan,
Felix
I believe.
and Yao Cancelo.
Start off with Yao Felix. He said publicly he wanted to be a Barca player. Now that did not work out for Antoine Griezmann. Keep that in mind.
Yeah,
the difference is they're not spending 150 million on him. They're getting him on loan.
And the difference is Barcelona have been good these last couple of years.
Yeah, and João Felix obviously is pretty much out of favor completely at Atletico Madrid. Fans are against him. You could tell his teammates are kind of against him. So good start, maybe revenge season for him within the league. Did decent. He was only Chelsea's bright spot outside of the red card.
Enzo.
Well, yeah, those two, and still couldn't win a game. But really, João Cancelo, obviously, big talk was Bayern Munich will sign him for 70 mil. He, I guess, struggled for their standards, went back, and then I think he's on loan if I'm not mistaken. So Barca reinvigorated themselves.
Those are good players to add. Cancelo, I'm still very high on, and I think he will help Barca a lot.
Yeah. Any other on top of your head?
Not really. No.
I think nothing really happened deadline day outside of.
Those are the major ones.
I'm just glad I woke up and saw the Amrabat news as much as it pissed me off with the saga.
That's true. But
Speaking of Manchester United, let's just get it out of the way.
All right. This is probably is there anything else we're going to talk about? So I'm going to leave Man United for last.
You want to go into the England squad right now?
Yeah, we'll go quickly England squad. I want to leave Man United for last.
Oh, yeah, because we have more drama came out.
Yeah.
England squad. Well, we're going to still rant on this as well, even though we're not big England supporters. But as we mentioned before, Harry Maguire, rejected West Ham's proposal of his personal terms. And I literally came out and said, I'm like, listen, he's getting paid and he will get the England call-up.
And he did.
He got the England call-up. Now, a lot of it has injuries involved, for sure. I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. But a guy like Ben White hasn't been called up.
Ben White didn't get called up for Harry Maguire. Fikayo Tomori isn't there, which is
like, I'm going to go, Tomori's in there, so who's missing? Then I realize it's the injuries.
It's Ben White.
Right, John Stones is not there.
Luke Shaw's not there.
Injury. And yeah, so off the bat, still head scratching to me that Harry Maguire before today or on Sunday, playing the little bit he did play, was not, by the time this roster came out, he had 0 minutes.
0 minutes, yeah.
Same thing with Calvin Phillips before he had a little cameo on Saturday, 0 minutes. Jordan Henderson has gone to Saudi League. Okay?
Who are they missing center mid-wise? Honestly, they could even get rid of a center mid and bring in an extra attacker.
Yeah, there was
or an extra defender as well.
Who it was?
A center mid, right? I feel like someone got left out. James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse.
That's what it was. James Ward-Prowse. But yeah, no sense to me. Well, one good thing I'll give you a shout out for, Eddie Nketiah made it.
Nketiah had a good start to the season.
But where's Raheem Sterling? When he was struggling, you kept picking him. And now he's off on a tear, at least before when the roster was announced, you don't pick him. Right? Where is James Ward-Prowse? Where is Ben White? Where is Ollie Watkins?
It's Southgate. He does his stupid stuff. The worst part is he does decently well these last few tournaments.
That's I get why he picks Maguire, but if you're contradicting yourself. That's all it is. Simple as that. There's nothing else to it. I would support England if it wasn't for Southgate. Simple as that. I don't care. The it's coming home chance do piss me off, but not as much as Southgate.
Southgate, yeah.
Simple as that.
Does piss you off.
You or me? Just me or you?
And me too, yeah.
But yeah, it's annoying. Again, you would think I'll be fighting for Harry Maguire to be on a spot because he is a Manchester United player, but I'm not saying that I know you're not a huge fan of him either. I'm still backing. We still back Man United players, but we're being real.
We're being real right now, right? And Ben White deserves it more than Harry Maguire does, right? James Ward-Prowse deserves it more than a Saudi Pro League player like Jordan Henderson, who's old, Calvin Phillips. And
Raheem Sterling
could.
So he could have been that.
Could be in there, and then Ollie Watkins as well.
Like, I'm glad he picked Marcus Rashford and it wasn't saying some dumbass shit. As they deserved, for sure.
Oh, as is a baller.
The first name I wanted to look at was James Madison, if he was going to make it. Because he was always left out. He would always be the injury replacement. Yeah, he made it as a forward, which kind of makes no sense to me. But
whatever. So he made it.
He made it, right? Like, arguably, and then Sam Johnstone made it, fighting with Dean Henderson for that number 1 position at Crystal Palace now.
But Ramsdale should be your starter. I don't want to see Pickford starting, but then
I think we'll be Pickford.
That's another stupid decision they always
make.
make.
All right, so that's the England squad. We have other, check out your guys. Cristiano Ronaldo's called up again. He's playing. I wonder, did Messi get called up, Easy? I don't know if he's playing in this window because he's in the MLS. So that's going to be big for Inter Miami. Let me pick that up.
Quickly check that out, yeah. So
you want to start off with the Man United?
All right, Man United.
Just discuss what happened, then we'll get into the round.
Man United played Arsenal today. And
Sunday,
Sunday. At the
time of recording.
And game of the year, would you say? So far?
I can't comment too much because I didn't watch any of the
I don't care.
games.
I'm saying game of the year. Right. Emirates Stadium, we are expecting Man United to lose because they haven't been good this year. Arsenal haven't been what they were last year, but they still have been the better team. And it ended up with a 3-1 victory for Arsenal. And we're like, okay, that's expected at the beginning of the game. We're like, okay, listen, that could happen. But the way it happened.
To put the context, you and I were so happy because we saw Canada basketball literally finish at 8:30.
Yeah.
Celebrate, run to the main TV after because we were watching it in our room, and my room. And then we turned on the game, started watching it. And then, I was genuinely anticipating like a 2-0, 3-0 loss with Arsenal, making a boring game, Arsenal thing. Started off kind of like that.
Arsenal were dominating.
And Andre Onana doing Andre Onana things.
The most composed man in the world is Andre Onana, man. Man's playing through balls in between the lines of over lines to get it to ball to the midfield and start attacks. Bro, like, as a goalie, that's insane.
So, he was the reason why Rashford scored in the first goal.
Yeah,
like
it was involved like that, but Arsenal did. It was a turnover as well.
Yeah.
So I think Arsenal won the ball high up the field.
Christian Eriksen
picked it up, turned it over, sent the through ball to Rashford. Rashford doing Rashford things, cuts inside, scores.
So let me just finish off the Messi convo here now, because as of the 32 players named to the 2026 World Cup qualification CONMEBOL matches on September 7 and 12, Leo Messi's on it. So Inter Miami, you're not making the playoffs.
It's over for Inter Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, man, Busquets and Alba could carry.
Yeah, but who's gonna score and set up?
Joseph Martinez? I don't know.
But Messi. I'm surprised he's playing these. I thought he was gonna retire, but
he said he wants to play more. He wants to enjoy the feeling.
Copa America, maybe try win it at home soil.
He wants to defend in the home continent. Who knows?
Anyways, back to United.
30 seconds later,
breakdown.
Good play by Arsenal. Very good play. Odegaard puts in the back of the net from a cutback cross from I think Martinelli.
Yeah. After that, kind of even game.
It was even game.
Arsenal had
before the goals, it was Arsenal, but after that, it kind of got even.
Right?
And until halftime.
Halftime comes, penalty call.
Oh, that was beginning of second half. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get to that penalty call. It was given by the ref. It was given.
And
VAR.
If you're looking at live play, it did look like a penalty.
Yeah, live play looked like a penalty. I'm not gonna disagree with that.
But VAR is a thing, right? Yeah. So. It was getting overturned.
It was getting overturned
for any team.
I'm still saying it. I'm gonna call my cousin out on this, and I know you were going out in the group chat. I just stayed quiet.
It's getting overturned for any team in any situation. Yeah, because that is a clear dive. There is no contact, and I don't care what you say.
Not just him. I'm not putting it on him. And not any of this is nothing to do with their cousins or anyone like that. This is strictly anyone that's non-Manchester United fan. First of all, every team will back their team. Like literally, when I go from the group chat. I go on Twitter. It's like. Arsenal are cheaters or blah blah blah, right? Because the Man United pages are saying that. So I try to go look at the neutral fans like Chelsea fans, and they were saying no penalty. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stick with that. To the argument of having for example, I thought the Tottenham handball was a handball, and it got overturned. Where's the Manchester United shit then, right? So and I know the Onana thing happened week 1, but anyways, that's too far back. So penalty got overturned. It's not a penalty. I don't care what anyone says.
It's not,
right? So gets the other way. Sub on Garnacho, right? Anthony, you're not going to say shit about him. He actually had a solid game.
Solid defensively. Obviously, offensively, he could do a little bit more.
Rasmus Højlund.
But I believe that everyone offensively could have done a little bit more. But I genuinely think that this was our best up until the point where Maguire and Evans were subbed in.
Yeah, okay, so we'll get to that in a second because that's going to piss me off.
Up until that point, do believe this was her best defensive performance of the season.
Except for that goal.
That breakdown.
Yeah.
That mini breakdown.
But Rasmus Højlund comes in. Pretty solid debut.
Højlund and Maguire came at the same time.
Yeah. So Maguire's fine, whatever. Martinez got hurt. Over-aggressive play. Got a yellow card too. But Rasmus Højlund, I want to focus on the attack here. Pretty solid. Like, you wanted a guy like Martial to hold up the play, but maybe more dynamic, and he is. And Martial is
solid.
injured.
He's a big player.
Big player.
He is speedy as well.
So,
he is pretty fast.
Yeah. Sub on Garnacho. Now, right? Like, this game, I don't want to put too much. I don't want to put
where
on
the Johnny Evans.
Okay, yeah, true.
Where the Johnny Evans.
But I don't want to put too much on Ten Hag this game specifically,
okay,
like how you did with the Tottenham game. He deserves some blame, sure, whatever. That build-up play for that goal was good. Now, in live play, it was like the same thing. If there was no VAR, that was a goal. It probably would have been 2-2, assuming the penalty counted. So it would have been a 2-2 game at this point, but got overturned. Great build-up play. Hopefully we get more of these.
Yeah, so it was basically Bruno won the ball in the midfield.
Yeah.
Plays it up to Højlund. Højlund does a back heel layoff. Casemiro
puts it through.
Garnacho tried to bend his run. I guess he didn't do it enough, even though it was like millimeters offside. And went on a breakaway from like around half. Scores, does his job, celebrates. I was celebrating. Then
I stayed quiet because I knew it was for sure.
Then
it got called back.
Then everything from that point just went
the minute
horribly for a Man United fan.
And then obviously Johnny Evans, like you said, came in a couple of minutes before that. And if you were to tell me that friggin' Maguire and Johnny Evans are your center backs at this point in a game against Arsenal, you literally sent the group chat, congratulations guys, the Arsenal fans in the group chat, our cousin.
Once I saw him subbed on,
I was like, yep, it's over, right? And you could tell, holy shit, Johnny Evans' first run was so bad.
It was so slow. You could just tell how slow they were.
They were slow
together.
The minute the corner kick was given, I'm like, oh my god, this is their weakness.
Yeah.
And guess what? They couldn't close down on him because they were so slow. Now, debatable hold, whatever. I don't think it was.
Okay, so basically the play before, I think it was because I think Evans got beat, right?
Yeah.
Right, and then they went out for a corner. And Arsenal, they struggled from corners all game as well. But
Saka
they only needed one.
Ball. Yeah.
Saka puts in a good ball.
Deflected. Rice shoots it, deflects.
Okay, first. Saka puts in a good ball, but Declan Rice was able to control the ball and bring it to the ground.
That was the problem.
Inside the box.
That was the problem.
Off a corner kick. And then credit Declan Rice, blasted it near post, deflected in. Onana, little chance to it, got a hand to it, but couldn't get a strong one to it.
Goal happens. Game should have been not over, but like game
8 minutes out of time as well.
Yeah.
And then obviously United all out attack. Gabriel Jesus.
And obviously again our center backs. So clearly Gabriel Jesus was gonna go. Held composure, fair play to him. Finishes it 3-1. The score line doesn't tell the story of the game essentially.
Yeah.
But now
as a fan,
that's the recap of the game. I don't know why we did a recap, but we did a recap of the game.
As a neutral fan, fun game to watch. Arsenal fan, fun game to watch, but
United fans frustrated. And my mood dipped because I thought we were going to lose 2-0, so I'm still going to hold the high of Canada. Now, after that, shout out to a person who messaged us, the Derek, good buddy of Derek's, knows he's your physio. Sent us a very kind, nice message that kind of flipped our mood around. And now that's why we're a little too happy in this pod. But no, back to the that kind of turned our mood around. But back to the game. Yeah, and overall, I can't blame Ten Hag too much. I think the tactics are fine. It was a close game. It was even. A close game. Arsenal weren't at their best.
One thing I wanted more to do is try to keep possession in their half a little bit, right? Because when we keep possession, it's with Onana.
The problem was again, like I said, everybody hates Manchester United because Fergie time they dominated, right?
They did.
Fair play, I get that. Obviously after that, whatever, we struggle. So the downfall is there. But the thing that pissed me off was. This is where I'm not going to go at Ten Hag because I don't think Ten Hag had a full say in this. Why the hell is Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire center backs when we could have had Kim Min-jae, we could have had Todibo or Pavard.
Yeah.
And that's what's pissing me off in this. And this is where I blame. And again, it's easy to say Glazers, and I get it. I still blame them for this because they might not be selling. The issue for me, the reason why I'm blaming the Glazers is because they're the ones stopping the fee to get the players. And yes, we spent a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. We spent $400 million with Ten Hag, and he has a little fault in that with the Mount and then Mount. Anthony and Mount.
Anthony and Mount are looking like it right now.
But I'm giving more of the blame to the head office people, but I'm giving them the blame here because you're telling me we didn't need a center back. you could tell he wanted to get rid of Harry Maguire all this time, and Harry Maguire chose to stay. So I'm not blaming Ten Hag on why he's staying, but yeah, you didn't accept the bid for McTominay, and we'll get into Jadon Sancho now. The problem is that's the issue. Like, there's everybody else is at fault at the end of the day, but the good news is, before we get to Sancho, the transfer window's done.
We know your squad now.
We're not selling anybody and hope Varane doesn't leave for Saudi, even though right now we need him, right? And it's international break. You know your squad. Hopefully he kind of fixes his tactics and not tries to be stubborn to play his own. But we've seen Ten Hag turn shit around last year.
He did it last year. I believe in him still. I don't like.
Yeah, there's no sack Ten Hag. I'm not trying to yes, we're already starting to criticize him, but I don't want to be he won us a trophy.
Fair criticism.
Fair criticism is.
But it's not sack Ten Hag.
Yeah,
that's
different.
That's the end of the day.
Like, people that want to blame him because we're losing, go ahead.
It's fine, but whatever.
Sancho thing though. Yeah. After the game, Erik Ten Hag is wondering why. Like, people are wondering why McTominay and Sancho did not play. I don't know what he said about McTominay, but Sancho, he said lack of his training attitude wasn't the greatest. Wasn't good at training, so he wasn't coming out. Now Sancho, an hour later, puts out a statement out of nowhere that don't believe these reports. And then these are not reports by Fabrizio Romano or David Ornstein.
It was by Ten Hag.
It was literally by Ten Hag saying, I'm the scapegoat, blah, blah, blah. Now, I get his frustration because a guy like Anthony, who struggled the first 2 games, was playing over him more. And I get that. Like, there's some type of favoritism there, and I 100% agree with that part. But he's the same guy that... This is the first time, by the way, Ten Hag has done this in public. So just kind of out of character. I don't know if he was just frustrated at the game. I know he was blaming the refs a lot. I don't think it was fully on the refs.
It wasn't on the refs.
But there was nothing really questionable.
It was nothing really. Like, Arsenal...
Like, it was offside.
If you're watching the game, looking at it, Arsenal were the team that looked like they were going to get the goal.
Yeah. Even though
we got the goal, but it was offside.
But yeah. So he's usually fair. He keeps it to himself. Protects the players in the media. He doesn't protect Sancho in this case, because last year... He also did protect him. He was away from the team for the whole World Cup plus after.
And he told him to take your time.
Take your time. Comes out, was smiling for him because he had a good game when he came back. So, yes, from a United fans thing, is Sancho the scapegoat? For sure. Is he living up to the price tag and his wages? Hell no. But he's
not even living up to half of it.
The problem is, why come out with that statement at the right time? Whether you're right or wrong, you can't come out with a statement like that. And because of that, maybe they should have sold him, because it came late that Chelsea wanted him, apparently, because he was also reportedly a Chelsea fan growing up based on previous pictures. Yeah, this is why I'm still saying they're the worst run franchise, including the Benning Canucks. Yeah. Simple as that. Like, there's always a shit show. They're the biggest club in England, so they're going to be talked about always, and I'm not afraid to admit that. But I'm trying to be real as well. And yeah, so this club, man, now in 2 weeks, when we do a proper Premier League recap, probably, I do have one question before we officially close it out, more of a fun type thing. Listen, I have faith they'll turn it around, and this is what I'm going to ask you. This is where I'm going to bring up the question. We did a tier list. How much do you want to change after you seeing all the transfer windows shut down now? Is Man United
Premier League prediction, right? Or Premier League prediction?
Yeah. Do you drop Man United at the top 4 now?
Right, the way they're playing, obviously I want to.
And Tottenham comes up?
And yeah, probably Tottenham comes up, in my opinion. But, or Newcastle, if actually Newcastle's struggling. So maybe Brighton, man. Maybe Brighton. Maybe Jeevan is right when he predicted Brighton be top 4.
Yeah.
But in that one, he left Arsenal out. I don't know why.
No, like, it was not even like Arsenal was heads and heels better than us either. That's the thing that pissing me off. And then, I'm blaming...
We are there.
This is where I'm blaming the board. Amrabat would have helped this game.
Amrabat would have...
Casemiro, get it, Eriksen assisted it, but
Eriksen had a good game.
Even if Amrabat came off the bench,
Eriksen was the best player in the midfield offensively. He was better than Bruno as well. But obviously, he has a defensive, lapses.
And now going forward, assuming everybody healthy, we already know what our backline should be.
We already know what our
here's the problem. I still have faith because Amrabat might come into the starting lineup. We'll see. Our front 3 should be Højlund. It's probably going to be Anthony, but whether you want to say it or not.
It's going to be Højlund, Rashford, and Anthony. Martial will be good subs. Garnacho will be a good fill-in as well. So I like that rotation there. And it's Sancho, depending on whatever happens to him now. Yeah. But Pellistri could fill in that as well.
Exactly. And depending on the health of...
And then
the midfield
rotation I like, right?
Kobe Mino might come in.
Kobe Mino, Casemiro, Amrabat, Fernandes, Eriksen, and Mount.
I'm fine with the rotation there. The biggest question mark is
our defensive depth.
Exactly.
Center back depth, to be more clear.
Yeah.
Because Sean Malasic being injured at the same time is kind of a just unlucky situation.
And we got Sergio Reguilon for that, which I forgot to mention, but we don't know how he's gonna be. But yeah, if Maguire
and
Evans are center back come back from international break, yeah, we're probably not even gonna finish top 10.
We're cooked.
Simple as that.
We'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there. That's our clip. We had to get this round out of the way because it was the biggest game of the weekend. Congrats, Arsenal. Again, classic.
Screw you.
Classic away loss again.
Another away loss, yeah.
That's the one that hurts, and we could have had this game.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
For this pod.
Pretty much it. Fun pod. I had fun. It was enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed it. NFL's back this Thursday. We'll drop a last episode where we talk about NFL. And like I said, next weekend, get ready. Next Sunday.
And comment down below your predictions. Comment down below whose predictions were better as well.
Next Sunday, we'll be ready to talk some NFL games for once.
Yeah,
official
finally.
NFL games. Gotta talk with
Really
some A-Rich, that shirt you're wearing.
A-Rich's debut. Definitely gonna talk about that.
The Sunday night football and stuff. But yeah, we definitely need a TV set up here. That's for sure.
Need to, right?
Depending on how we do our soccer schedules are starting, and hey, volleyball is on a Tuesday, but soccer schedules are the main thing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you guys check out the Derek Bossy podcast. Banger of a podcast. Don't want to miss it.
And
love the support so far from that podcast.
Yeah, it was great support on the podcast. Just like everything in it has some serious moments, has a journey, has jokes, lots of jokes, and
shares his brother's legacy.
And shares his brother's legacy.
I'm gonna say it here. Donate to the Brendan Bossy Foundation
as well. Yeah.
We'll probably link it down in this video. We'll link it down below.
You can check out the Instagram and check out the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And
support it, good cause. And check out potential bonus episode this week again with the talking more basketball,
talking more FIBA as well.
Yeah. And check out a potential tier list video for sure, potentially this weekend on Saturday most likely.
Yeah.
So those are all the teases, those are all the updates, and other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.